Wrong Turn 3 is yet another direct-to-DVD sequel. It came out in 2009. It was directed by Declan O'Brien. Now, the plot of this movie is you see these correctional officers. They have to transport these prisoners from point A to point B. So as they're driving, they get attacked by, you guessed it, those deformed, inbred hillbillies living out in the woods. So now these cops, along with these prisoners who they can't trust each other, have to survive the night in the woods. Now this fucking film is pretty fucking bad. The thing I don't like the most about this film is the plot. I think the plot is stupid. Okay, so we're gonna have a group of prisoners being transported and then they get stranded out there. Why the fuck am I supposed to give a shit about these prisoners? Who thought it was a good idea to have your main characters be prisoners that are murderers and rapists? Connor James Delaney, yeah, you're to blame for the stupid, lame-ass plot. I know I said in my review for Wrong Turn 2 that plot was bad, the whole reality show thing, but watching this and seeing how lame it was and just noticing how disinterested I was while watching it, I'm like, I would so much rather watch the second film right now. Because at least the second film was fun. At least it had some characters that you can like and root for and stuff. Here, there was no one that I gave a shit for. I didn't give a fuck about the prisoners, obviously. You have this one cop, Nate, who I guess is the main character. But I just didn't really get much out of him. I didn't feel at all like he was going to be a strong character or even a hero. You had this one girl played by Janet Montgomery, and she was in the woods earlier in that day with her group of friends, but they all got killed. But then by the time she comes up and meets up with them, she's just there with them and can't do anything because you have that one prisoner who's the leader with the gun to leading the way, being an idiot. All he's worried about is fucking money, even though he sees these prisoners dropping down like flies because there's a deformed hillbilly out there. Fucking dumbass, do something about that guy. By the way, speaking of the hillbilly, there's only one of the hillbillies. I don't know if this film's trying to say that they've all been killed off, so he's the only one left. But I think it's the same one that's been in the first two films too. The really goofy one that runs around and stuff. Even though, okay, he supposedly was blown up at the end of the first film, but we saw in the teaser scene at the end that he survived. The second movie, he's there and then he gets shot in the chest with a shotgun, but he survived that, apparently. The kills, I weren't really that impressed with the kills. Most of them seemed a little too far-fetched, which is funny because that second film had a lot of over-the-top kills. But this one just felt like, not only was it over the top, but it wasn't even fun or cool either. And then the CGI, it's like, why does the Wrong Turn movies need CGI for kills? Even though, I'll be honest, I did have this thought while watching the second film, but I'm just going to bring it up here because now it's annoying me. The shittier these movies are getting, the more it annoys me. The Wrong Turn movies, like these hillbilly family group, the cannibals, they're not that interesting. I'm not saying they should have an interesting backstory, but it's pretty much a ripoff of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Hills Have Eyes, and even to a certain extent the Friday the 13th movies, because they're all in the woods, and technically when Jason was alive, he was a mongoloid. So it's almost like if Jason Voorhees went out and started a family of his own of mongoloid freaks, this would be the family.
It eats people.
So I guess my point is, all of that was true in the first two films, but I guess it didn't bother me because I could still watch them and have fun with the kills and stuff. But here, by now, we're 3 movies in. I know that there's still 2 more for me to watch. It's like these films, this series does not need to be a series. Why is this a franchise? Oh, and what about the end? The end, which, okay, it looks like it's going to be a sort of happy ending, but no. Then the main character, Nate, he goes back and finds the money that all the prisoners were looking for, and he thinks it's his lucky day until one of the prisoners, who earlier that was a part of the ending helped them and was set free. He came back to kill the main officer, the main character, and take the money for himself. And then behind him, you see that yet another hillbilly is out there. Great. I don't know what's worse. The fact that it's a sequel bait ending, or the fact that you just had your main character get killed off like a dumbass.
Where is food?
So, Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead is a horrible film. And it's bad too, because while I was watching it, I wasn't really pissed off. So that's why I'm not that angry during this review. It's just, it's so uninteresting. It's so disappointing to sit there and it's like you don't give a fuck emotionally. You're not scared even for a second. There's just no emotion while watching this film. Fuck this movie. Fuck Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead, or whatever the fuck you feel like calling yourself this time around. Anyways, guys, please wish me luck continuing this fucking series. Like, comment, and subscribe. Later.
Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead.